Hello participants, myself Dr. Mayank Pandey from Department of Biotechnology, Kumaon University, Nainital. I welcome you all in a course entitled COVID-19 Challenges and Opportunities. Dear participants, I have divided this course in 3 modules. In first module, I will discuss about the basics of coronavirus, the causative agent of this pandemic disease. In the second part, I will discuss about the test and diagnostic kits available for testing COVID-19 as well as the research and development related to the drugs and vaccine associated with COVID-19. And in my last part, I will discuss about the opportunities which we have in this COVID-19 era, especially for unemployed Uttarakhand youth. So, let's see some basic facts about coronavirus. This coronavirus term is not new in scientific community, or this virus is not new in human. In 1990s, this virus has been isolated. This virus structure, if we see the structure of this virus, then this virus have corn-like spike on its outer surface. Hence, it is named coronavirus. Diametrically, it ranges from 65 to 125 nanometer in diameter. It contains a single-stranded RNA molecule as its nucleic acid material, and different coronaviruses, the length of this nucleic acid range from 26 to 32 kilobases. This virus belongs to family Coronaviridae, and this Coronaviridae family come under Nidovirales order. And Coronaviridae family have 2 subfamilies. One of them is known as Coronavirinae, another is known as Taurovirinae. And this Coronavirinae subfamily have 4 subfamilies, 4 genuses. That is alpha coronavirus, beta coronavirus, gamma coronavirus, and delta coronavirus. This Coronaviridae family is the largest family of this Nidovirales order, and this alpha and beta coronavirus genus of Coronavirinae subfamily, they infect or they circulate in mammals including bats, while gamma coronavirus species isolates from avian species, while delta, it is prevalent, mostly prevalent or infect birds and mammals. Out of total 39 isolates of coronavirus, 7 of them highlighted in blue, they infect human, and they are human coronavirus NL63, 229, OC43, HKU1, severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus, and severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. Now, if we come, as I have told that out of 39 coronaviruses, 7 can infect human, and they are known as human coronavirus. And out of these 7, 4 of the isolates, 4 of the human coronavirus isolate, they are responsible for approximately 30% of cold which we encounter globally in winters. None of these 4 coronavirus show cases of fatality, and the transmission mode of these coronavirus is generally respiratory droplets, and with a 2 to 5 days of incubation period, they develop symptoms. These 4 coronaviruses, human coronaviruses, they impact on economy of country, because due to these coronavirus infection, human coronavirus infection, the productivity of individual hamper a lot. Now, before 2002, these human coronavirus were considered as a nuisance virus. They were not considered as serious virus. But in 2002, when a outbreak of human coronavirus occurred in Guangdong province of China on November 2002, there is seriousness for research and development against the cure of these coronaviruses, human coronaviruses. In 2002, the human coronavirus isolate were named as severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. The primary reservoir or the natural reservoir of this human coronavirus was bat, while the intermediate dose was your palm civet. This severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, it infect more than 29 countries with a reported cases of 8,098 with documented death of 774 with 10% fatality rate. And in July 2003, the human chain transmission of this coronavirus broke. A decade later, after severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, another deadly coronavirus emerged known as Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus. It was first reported in a Saudi man with symptoms of fever, cough and shortness in breath, admitted to hospital and died 11 days after hospital admission. This coronavirus infected, although the epicenter of this coronavirus was Saudi Arabia, but it infect neighboring countries or it infect globally. And there are reports of this coronavirus in different parts of world, and according to a report of WHO on December 26, 2009, this virus has infected 27 countries with 2,494 laboratory confirmed cases and 858 associated deaths. So a very high fatality rate of 35%. The currently human-to-human transmission of this Middle East respiratory syndrome virus is limited, but it exists. Now, 18 years after severe acute respiratory syndrome virus and 8 years after Middle East respiratory syndrome virus, today world is threatened by, or human population is threatened by another human coronavirus named as severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. First report of this coronavirus, or first it was identified in Wuhan city of China. WHO named this virus as 2019 novel coronavirus, which was renamed as severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 by International Committee for Taxonomy of Virus. WHO on Feb 11, 2020 officially named the disease as coronavirus disease 2009, abbreviated as COVID-19. On 11th March 2020, WHO declared pandemic, and this coronavirus resembles 86% or 87% approximately to bat coronaviruses. So it is suspected that it developed in bat. If we see the fatality of COVID and other diseases, other viral diseases, then the fatality rate of COVID would range from 0.7 to 3.4%. It is low as compared to Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus, which is having a fatality rate of approximately 35%, or Ebola virus, which is having a fatality rate of approximately 50%. Although it is showing less fatality rate, but today it has become the third disease. It ranked third under the disease which cause maximum death per day. The severe symptoms associated with this virus are trouble in breathing, acute cardiac injury, kidney failures. There are different sources, the primary sources of different human coronavirus are bat or rats. And different intermediate hosts of different coronavirus, human coronavirus, has been identified, but it is suspected that this SARS coronavirus 2 is intermediate host is pangolin. Fighting against this pandemic, WHO issued some guidelines, and Government of India, in following those guidelines, to interrupt the human contact, to isolate the patient in early stage, to address the crucial mystery about this virus and accelerate research, the Government of India locked down the country on 24th March. But after 24th March, the infected individuals in India, today approximately 5% of total infected individuals in world are Indian. 10 million, it has been reported till today that approximately 10 million people worldwide are infected by this coronavirus, and about 5 lakh or 5.5 lakh individual Indians are also infected by this disease. And according to a data gathered from Arogya Setu app, the risk of community transmission of this COVID-19 is highest in Delhi, with recorded in Delhi, that is 143%. Now, if you see if we come some details of its genome and proteome, because we know that virus is made up of two things. Its nucleic acid material, which can be either RNA or DNA, and enveloped by a protein code. These protein code of virus contain some structural proteins like M protein, known as membrane protein, E protein, known as envelope protein, S protein, known as spike protein, while the nucleic acid material of this coronavirus is associated with a protein known as N protein or nucleocapsid protein. If you see the size, as I have told you, that the size of human coronavirus range from 26 to 32 kilobases. This severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus of 2002 is having a genome size of that particular virus is 29 kilobase per. It codes for 4 structural protein. All the human coronaviruses, they code for 4 structural proteins. They code for a replicase gene, that is polyprotein 1A and polyprotein 1AB. They also code for some accessory protein. For example, 2002 SARS genome contain code for 8 accessory protein. There are report that 6 accessory protein is being coded by severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. The protein coded by replicase gene of coronavirus, that is from ORF1A and ORF 1B, the protein coded is replicase. It is being cleaved by some non-structural proteins like 3-chemotrypsin-like protease or papain-like protease into 15 to 16 non-structural proteins, and these non-structural proteins have varied function in viral infection and assembling and release. Now, if you see the function of different proteins of viruses, the S protein, that is known as spike protein, it is responsible for receptor binding or viral entry or host tropism. It enables with the S protein enable viral infection, while M and E protein, they are responsible for assembling inside the host cell as well as promoting virulence. And there are some accessory proteins also coded by coronavirus, and these accessory proteins they help to evade the immune system of host cell, because whenever there is an infection, the host immunity activate to fight against the causative agent of that particular pathogen. So to escape from immunity, the virus has some accessory proteins. Accessory proteins have been reported to help to evade that particular human immunity. Now, some coronaviruses, they also have a different fifth structural protein known as heme agglutinin esterase, that is HE protein, and the function of this HE protein in those human coronavirus is the protection of infectious virons. Now, if we discuss about this what we have discussed about is its genome and its proteome. Now we will discuss about the viral infection, replication and release. So the infection of virus start as soon as virus enter the body, and it bind to the receptors which are present in the target host cell. And for severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus and severe respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, the receptor is ACE2, that is angiotensin converting enzyme 2, while for Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus, the identified receptor is DPP4, that is dipeptide peptidase 4. So when the virus, in the first step, virus associate with the receptor. In the second step, another host protein known as transmembrane protease serine 2, it cleaves this trimeric S protein which is bound to the receptor. It broke this S protein into two segments, that is subunit S1 subunit and S2 subunit. With S1 subunit, the virus is attached to the receptor, while the S2 subunit have a function of fusion, membrane fusion. It is involved in the membrane fusion function. So these S protein have a domain in their structure through which they recognize a motif in the receptor. So there is receptor binding motif in receptors, and there are receptor binding domain in the S protein. Now, as the virus attached to the receptor, and the S protein is being cleaved, the S2 subunit, this S2 subunit help in the membrane fusion of this virus, and by receptor mediated endocytosis, these virus enter inside the cytoplasm in a vesicle known as endosome, and with triggered low pH, the nucleocapsid of this virus is released in the cytoplasm, and in the nucleocapsid, that is RNA and N protein, the N proteins are released, and which is known as uncoating of nucleocapsid, and the RNA which is released in the cytoplasm is associated with host translational machinery, that is ribosome, and this RNA is translated, it produces to the ORF1A and ORF1A and ORF1A and ORF1b, they are translated to produce PP, polyprotein 1A and polyprotein 1AB. This polyprotein 1A and polyprotein 1B, after their synthesis, they are cleaved. The proteolysis occur by the accessory proteins. That is 3CL-Pro and PL-Pro, papain-like proteases, and 15 to 16 non-structural proteins are formed, and these non-structural proteins they help, or they function as RNA-dependent RNA polymerases. They remodel the membrane to form a double membrane vesicle known as DMV, and these DMV, they are closely associated with RTCs. This RTC is replicase transcriptase complex. The replication and transcription occur in these double membrane vesicle, or the double membrane vesicles, that is inside the DMVs. Some of the accessory proteins, they also work in the 5' capping of the RNA molecules, subgenomic RNA molecules, so that it can recognize for the translation process. So and the replicase protein, it is involved in the replication of positive strand genomic RNA into negative strand genomic RNA, which is again replicated into positive strand, and then it gets associated with N protein in the cytoplasm, and the complete assembling of with other S, M and E protein occur inside endoplasmic reticulum Golgi intermediate compartment. Then the assembling is helped by structural protein M, and then the vesicle release from the Golgi bodies. They ultimately fuse with the plasma membrane and release the virus particle by exocytosis. Now, the coronavirus, they are being characterized by exceptional genetic plasticity. That is, they evolve rapidly, and as they evolve rapidly, they change their structure, or they change their antigenic profile. They change their tissue tropism, they change their host strain. The bad coronavirus can, when it evolved, it introduced changes inside virus, that now this virus can infect civet cats also, and it can in civet cat this virus can evolve so that it can infect human also. So the genetic nature of virus is due to rapid evolving characteristic, and this rapid evolving character of virus is due to two phenomena. One of them is known as mutation, and another is known as recombination. And viruses mutate very rapidly, or the mutation rate in virus is very high, because the virus genome is being replicated by RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, and these RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, they do not possess good proofreading activity, so the chances of incorporation of wrong nucleotide during replication is very high. And second thing, whenever a host is co-infected, infected by more than one virus, it can happen that reverse the replicating enzyme from one virus RNA genome can jump into second RNA virus genome, resulting into the synthesis of a hybrid RNA molecule with varied structural changes in the protein molecules. So this is what about the infection and release. These are the references which I have read to make this lecture, and in my next module I will discuss about the diagnostic tests, drugs and vaccines. Thank you so much for your kind attention and patience listening. I hope that this module will help you to understand this virus structure, infection more, and you have been enriched in your knowledge. Thank you so much once again.